USDJPY, and I'm going to be breaking down my analysis on this pair. So this is the daily chart. I'm going to start from the daily chart and work my way down to see what type of position I want to be in when it comes to the USDJPY. So on the daily chart, I see that we got some upward movement, and price has been taking out these highs, and I would expect that price will keep going up to take out more highs. So this is the high that bulls are they're gonna try to target when they start pulling back. So you can also see that there's some resistance going on as well on the daily, and currently in the market, you see that we're reacting off this area of resistance and pushing price down lower. So as we were taking out these highs, as bulls took control of this market, so this last swing low that we had that made the current swing high, we know that when we break highs, we pull back. So price broke a couple of highs aggressively, as you can see, and we should expect a pullback. So we hit an area of resistance, and we could assume that this is what's causing the pullback. So once we finish this pullback, if bulls want to keep control of the market and not keep going lower, when we finish the pullback, this is where bulls intend to go to finish making their new highs in the market. So now that we figured out where we're going, right, we want to figure out where we're going to buy. So right now we can see that price is in a pullback phase, and these are some areas that price could react to, and bulls can come back in and price can continue up. So these are some swing lows that we want to pay attention to as price comes down lower and lower. So right now we have some support going on as well. We're gonna go down to a lower time frame so we can see that properly. Let's erase this. So this is the support that's going on. You can see it more clear from the 4 hour on the 1 hour, and as we go down the time frames, you'll see it more clearly. But on the 1 hour, it looks nice. If we want to, and also you can also see that it is an area where price, this was the previous high before, this big move up. So that's also a retest of that high. So if we want to keep this higher low that's going on, then I would expect that price would go something like this. It will grab, whatever it's grabbing, and then start to go back up. So that would be my idea if we were going to continue the bullish trend. So now if we're going to go down lower and continue pulling back, then these are the areas that I'm gonna look to end my selling and look to see if price is going to react to the buy. So we have a few areas where, areas of value where we can enter into the market. So right now, because price is pulling back, I do want to be in a selling position until we get to these areas that um price will pull back, will probably pull back to. So let me go back to that and I'll show you that. So this is where price can fall to, and price can always pull back all the way down to the daily low if it wants to, because this is the um I don't know what to call it. This is the range that we are currently in. So on the daily chart, this is what's going on. Like, this is the last low that's happening that created the high. So this is gonna be the range that we're gonna be trading in. So price can always pull back all the way to the end or even further. Now, if we're gonna like change the direction and stuff, then we're gonna see more swing lows be broken, and that's where you can say like, okay, we're probably changing direction in this market, and we're pretty high in the market too, so you never know what that happens. So, but all I'm saying is that we have this much room to pull back, and you never know when the market's gonna be finished pulling back. So that's why I marked out the internal like lows within the range, because this is where price is going to react to. If we get here, right, we might start buying here, or we might start buying here, we might start buying here, all the way until we get to here. Like, and then if this breaks and price continues down lower, then we have the previous low. And if this breaks, then we can say, all right, well, maybe we're changing trends and we're no longer in this bullish market. So we have a whole lot of room, a whole lot of time and room in this range to go to see what market wants to do. So, but right now we see that market is pulling back. So we're dependent on if we're gonna stay in this pullback, then we're dependent on these internal lows not being respected and them being broken if we're gonna keep pulling back. But we also have support being made, and then these can also become support. So we also gotta still look at these to see if this is where price could end its pullback and continue the bullish trend up. So we gotta just mark the areas and then keep our eye on the areas. So if we're selling, right, I'm gonna want to see some breaking past here, and some strong bullish move within here and breaking past here, and then this is where I would want to sell, but this is where I will sell into, and this is where I will stop selling, because this is also an area that price could become support, and bulls could come back in the market and push price back up higher, and then they could break through here and then go to its target, and so on and so forth. So after all that, my analysis right now is I think that we are, you know we could also be coming to a range too, because we also have that support, and then we also have resistance right here, so we could also find ourselves consolidating. But in the meantime, this is where I would be selling from, because this is the latest area of resistance. So this is where I would look to see how price is reacting to it. And this is where a lot of stop losses is going to be too. So I want to be aware of that as well, and um, get a good entry to where I don't become liquidity, and I can take the trade to target here. So, but I am aware of support, and I'm aware that this is a higher low. This is also a higher low. This is also a higher low. This is also a higher low. So we've been pretty consistent in making higher lows. And so you never know. Like, a lot of people stop losses right here, so we could easily pull back down here, and then might find itself using this as support and then making its way back up to town. So that's my analysis, and we're just gonna see what market does throughout the week.